Okay.
I think you'll have to call on folks in whatever order you can figure that out.
Yeah, I can't see the screen anymore. I guess the agenda is up.
I'll stop sharing.
So I guess I can go the way the screen is looking for me. I'll just
Okay.
go clockwise.
Mhm.
I guess I'll start. Sam Modi, President and CEO of Keller Engineers of New Jersey, and I serve as one of the 3 co-chairs for the Transportation and Aviation Committee. John Hanson.
Hi, I'm John Hanson. I'm with DRPA and PATCO.
Marlene.
Morning, Ms. Selta. Good morning, Southern New Jersey Development Council. Nice to see you all.
George
Lopeman, Executive Director, UTCA.
Bill.
Bill Brooks, STV, co-chair of the Transportation and Aviation Committee.
Mike.
Good morning, I'm Mike Venuto, the Chief Engineer at the DRPA.
Steve.
Morning, Steve Manera, HNTB, co-chair of the Transportation and Aviation Committee.
Randy.
Good morning, Randy McDonald, Operations Manager at the SNJDC.
Dave Zapparello.
Dave Zapparello, Director of Communications, South Jersey Transportation Authority.
Nicole.
Hi, Nicole Ockrock, Engineering Department at DRPA.
Tim Tierney.
Yeah, HNTB, formerly Conrail.
Seal Smith.
Good morning, Seal Smith, Deputy Executive Director at DRBA, and I know I owe Maureen a phone call.
Yeah, we've missed each other. Yeah.
Mike McAtee.
Morning, everybody. Mike McAtee with Urban Engineers.
Bob Scansella.
Good morning. This is Bob Scansella, KS Engineers, short timer.
Keep rubbing it in. Kurt.
Good morning, Kurt Ladwa, Delaware Engineers.
The next one, I'm not. Is it Fall?
Hi, good morning. Yes, this is Mamie Fall. I'm with NJEDA. Nice to meet you all. I haven't really met anybody on here, but I am a transportation engineer with, yes?
No.
Hello?
Oh,
sorry.
John? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were concluded.
Yes, just happy to be here and thank you, everyone.
Thank you. John McCarville. He's muted. We'll come back to John. Max.
Good morning, Max Slusher, Atlantic County Economic Alliance.
Kyle Rutherford.
Morning, everyone. Kyle Rutherford with STV.
Dom Sambucci.
Dom Sambucci, Chief Business Officer at Atlantic Cape Community College.
Joe Whitman.
Hey, Joe Whitman, Director of Business Development, Taylor Weissman and Taylor.
Brian Blum.
Good morning.
The next one, I'm not sure. Is it Rhonda? There's a long message on there, so I'm not sure the name. So need a little help with this one. Okay. I'll come back. Chris Rawadi.
Yeah, Christopher Waddy from Dresden Robin.
Sam Donaldson.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Sam Donaldson with AECom and executive committee member of Southern New Jersey Development Council.
Ben?
Hey, good morning. Ben Gallinelli, SNJDC.
Brandon Ford?
Brandon Ford from PNC Bank.
Senator John Bersacelli.
Yes, I'm Leanna Crowther sitting in for the senator.
Okay, welcome. Andrew Cushman?
Good morning, Andy Cushman, French and Perello Associates.
Nick Messiano?
Yeah, you got it. I'm Nick Messiano. I'm Special Projects Coordinator with Senator John Bersacelli. Hi.
Robert?
Robert Mazuka, New Jersey Manufacturing Extension Program.
Okay, and Brandon Sears?
Hi, I'm Brandon from the SNJDC.
Did I miss anybody? Went around the horn as best as I could.
I don't know, Sam, if you got me, it's John McCarville. Sorry about that. I was
John.
speaker there.
Welcome.
Good to be here.
Thank you. Okay. Marlene, you want us to take it from here?
Yeah, if you would, let's put that agenda back up on the screen and I'll leave it to you.
Okay. Well, good morning, everybody. On behalf of the Southern New Jersey Development Council, I want to welcome everybody to this morning's Transportation and Aviation Committee meeting. The council is very proud of the partnership they have fostered with the Delaware River Port Authority, and always appreciate the opportunity when John Hanson and Mike Venuto can join us to provide our membership with an update on the Glassboro Camden line, the role of New Jersey Transit, and the GSL referendum on the Glassboro and Brookline ballots. We have gone through self-introductions, but I did want to acknowledge my co-chairs once again, Bill Brooks and Steve Benera, representing STV and HNTB, respectfully. Really, without further ado, I wanted to turn the meeting over to John and Mike. John is the CEO, and Mike is the Chief Engineer of the DRPA, and they're obviously no strangers to our committee. John and Mike have both been strong advocates of the Glassboro Camden line, and their efforts were instrumental in getting the project through the EIS phase and into preliminary engineering. We will entertain questions at the end of the meeting, but at this time, I'd like to turn the meeting over to John and Mike. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam, and I'd like to thank Marlene and you at the Southern New Jersey Development Council for having us here today to brief the project. This is a bittersweet moment for us. This is the last time that we'll be briefing this project. So I'm going to let you hear directly from Mike Venuto and Nicole Ockrock. I'll close it out. But we've been informed by New Jersey Transit. They've expressed that the Glassboro Camden line is a priority for them, and they're looking to integrate it into their operation, to take a holistic view of the project, and to handle it themselves, presumably because of the level of priority that they've assigned to it. So at DRPA, we never hold our people back when it's time for them to make a move that will allow them to become what they're destined to be. And we feel this way about this project. We are very committed to it, Sam, as you said. We believe very strongly in this project, and in many ways, we're sorry to see it go from our portfolio, but we know that New Jersey Transit taking it over will bring it closer into alignment with the resources that it needs to go forward. So in a moment, you'll hear from Chief Engineer Mike Venuto, Dr. Nicole Ockrock from our engineering staff. I also want to take a moment to acknowledge DRPA's principal engineer, Mike Howard, who couldn't be on with us today, but Mike is DRPA's top technical expert. He's got preeminent expertise and knowledge both in the engineering profession and DRPA's assets. And without his many contributions to this project, and truthfully, every other project that DRPA does, we'd be much further behind in all of our agenda. So again, a bittersweet moment. This is the last time we're going to brief it, and I'm going to turn it over to Mike Venuto, and I'll come back with just a couple comments at the end. Mike.
Yep. Thank you, John. Good morning, everybody. I'll echo what John said. You know, we've had a long time on this project, many years. I've personally been working on the project since 2003, not too long after I came to the DRPA. So to get this far was a interesting journey and an amazing feat. Nicole is going to lead us through some of the. I know many of you probably know some of the details of the project, but just to recap some of where we are with the project and how we got here and the basics of it. Nicole is going to lead us through a few slides, and then we'll I'll take some, and then John, like he said, will close it out. Can everyone see the screen share?
Yes, I can
Yes.
see.
Okay. All right. So without further ado, Nicole.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. Thank you, John. Thank you, Mike, and everyone for being here. So the Glassboro Camden line, as Mike said, has been around for a while. And just a quick history, you know, we did start that alternatives analysis back in the early 2000s. And we finished up our environmental impact statement in 2001, and then we led right into the preliminary engineering design phase, which started off in 2022. And we are just coming up on our 30% deliverable with our partners, South Jersey Transit Partners, which is a joint venture between AECOM and STV. So some of those folks are on the call today, and we wouldn't be here without them as well. So the Glassboro-Camden line is an 18-mile route between Camden, New Jersey, all the way down to Glassboro. It terminates at the Walter Rand Transportation Center in Camden, which is currently an existing station and also undergoing some development by New Jersey Transit. There will be 13 new stations all the way down the line. Our current ridership models project about 16,000 riders by 2040, and this will be transformative for South Jersey, allowing folks from South Jersey to get more access for mobility at the Walter Rand Transportation Center, which allows more connectivity to New Jersey Transit, PATCO over into Center City, Philadelphia, and all those other options as well. And our current estimate for the capital construction is between $1.6 and $1.8 billion. So that is our overview of the project. And just as a reminder, you know, the importance of it is to connect communities, to increase that mobility and those links between all the communities along the line, those opportunities for jobs, education, activities, is really the driving force for this project. And we are excited to, bring this to South Jersey. Next slide. And just again, like a high level overview of our train service, we would operate between 5 a.m. and midnight every day. We would have 15-minute headways during the main peak times. And then once we got to about 9 o'clock, we would then move to 30-minute headways. This train service and operations requires significant coordination with Conrail to allow their freight operations as well. And so we would have one dedicated GCL track on the northern half through Camden to Woodbury, and then on the southern half, we would have 2 dedicated tracks. So you want to take this one, Mike?
Yeah, so I'm happy to jump in here. So thanks, Nicole for leading us through that part of the presentation. So we couldn't get this far on this project without our many partners. So we felt like it was important to share with all of you, the key stakeholders and the key partners that we've had over the many years that we've been working with this project. So we've been working with New Jersey Transit for a number of years on this PMO PED phase. We've also worked with South Jersey Transportation Authority as our funding partner. So we've forged a great relationship with both of those organizations. We're able to work to complete to get to this point. It's been a great partnership, and we're proud to say that we've made it done this level of effort with moving the project along this far. We've appreciated working with Conrail over the years to come up with a plan where we both can be successful. I mean, it took a long time to work out all the details with that. Ultimately, the two organizations were able to come to an arrangement where they can operate their line. They have the ability to grow while we can still provide a pathway to the pathway for the GCL. And that was instrumental in keeping this project moving forward. And we couldn't be here without their tremendous support along the way. New Jersey DOT has provided great coordination as we move the project forward. And then key stakeholders like Cooper, Rowan, Rutgers, and Spear, as well as the many towns along the right-of-way, have all provided us valuable input as we went through and prepared this preliminary engineering design. So what we'll do, we have a couple slides to share some of the renderings of the stations, and Nicole's going to walk us through a few of those.
Sure. So as I mentioned, we have the northern half of the route, which has a small portion of a viaduct structure through Camden. You can see those on the top left, and the right side, you can see the viaduct. All of our stations will be ADA accessible, and we're really trying to fit into the fabric of the communities that we are serving. The bottom left is indicative of a center platform. So this is Glassboro Station for illustrative purposes. So if you go to the next one, you can see a little bit more. On the left is an example of Pittman Station, still that center platform. You'll see that there is fencing there. I didn't mention earlier, but obviously safety is very important as part of this project. So at all 46 grade crossings, we are including 4 quadrant gates and other safety measures. We're looking at the proximity of the stations in relation to other critical points in the community, such as a school, emergency services. So, we're really aware of where we're fitting in, and then what safety measures need to be included, whether we're adding additional fencing, we're including more wayfinding, where we would be working closely with the municipality on the timing of the lights. So a lot of that has gone into this 30% design. And then the one rendering on the right is at the terminal station in Glassboro. You can see, the walk up, the tickets, vending machines, and just pointing out lighting and wayfinding. All of that is important for the success of a project such as this.
All right, so next steps, and Sam, you alluded to some of this when you gave us the introduction about where we're going from here with New Jersey Transit. So just sort of talk quickly about how we're ending up here with this preliminary engineering design. So as Nicole talked about earlier, the many phases that led us to get here to this PED. So we started this latest phase, the preliminary engineering design, back in October of 2022, and we jumped right on this project and committed a whole bunch of resources right off the bat. We received the 10% design in October of 23, and we just recently received our 30% design. Our partners, South Jersey Transit Partners, the joint venture of STV and AECOM, did a great job of leading this project to get us. It was a lot of work in the last 2 years to get us this far. So the coordination, as you can imagine, with all the towns along the way, all of our partners, utilities, other agencies, took a tremendous amount of effort, coordination, and also getting out there in public and letting people know what we're doing. So we're appreciative of their work. to get us this far. We know that the project still has more work to do, but we're in the process now of wrapping up this 30% and getting it to a position where we can transition it to New Jersey Transit. So earlier this year, it was New Jersey Transit confirmed that they would be the agency of record, and we're working to transition that now. We've had a number of coordination meetings here over the last month or two, and making a plan of how we're going to move forward. So we're wrapping up our scope of work. We're going to get it to them by the end of the year, and then they're going to be looking to how they can holistically bring it into their organization and how they can bring it into their entire transit system, and how they're going to take those next steps moving the project forward. So with that, John.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Nicole. So just to close it out, I want to express my immense gratitude and respect to South Jersey Transportation partners, Rich Amade, Sam Donaldson, and Bill Brooks in particular. That's who I worked most closely with. I appreciate the effort, the collaboration, and the teamwork. I'd also like to thank Marlena Selda for her strong support. And I guess I have to say the vast majority of the Southern New Jersey Development Council, and even those members who maybe weren't with us, I'm going to thank them for keeping us on our toes during this whole thing as well. Finally, I just want to say this. This preliminary engineering, this 30% design is very significant. It means that this project is now a reality. It's a reality. And it's only a reality because of the leadership, the support, the effort of Senate President Sweeney and Senator Berzicelli. We'd be nowhere without them. So with all of the people that we've thanked for all their contributions, this is the contributions of Senate President Sweeney, Senator Berzicelli are the seminal contributions, the ones that without which we get nowhere. So thank you to everybody. Again, a bittersweet moment for us, but a moment that we know is going to allow this project to move on to the next phase, to become what it is destined to be, as Nicole said, linking this part of Southern New Jersey to cultural, recreational, educational, economic, and medical facilities that they really do not have good access to right now. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, John, Mike, Nicole. Really appreciate that. I know the GCL, and we're going to take questions here in a minute. I just have one question for you. The GCL really talks about Glassboro and Camden, and I know there's a lot of development in those two towns. Camden's got the Walter Rand Transportation Center and Rowan Rutgers, which is always expanding. You know, Rowan has grown tremendously over the years. They've got a vet school, they've got a wellness village all planned down there. And those two are great anchor towns. But can you speak to some of the benefits of the towns in between there? You know, I hear about land value increases and, you know, taking cars off the road and things like that. So what benefits do you see for the greater transportation network overall for South Jersey and in particular for some of the towns between Glassboro and Camden?
Yeah, so I'll start with that. And I don't know if Mike or Nicole will have anything else they want to say, but transportation is key to any type of growth and development. It's really key to improving people's lives and lifestyles, right? And one of the things about the pandemic is that a lot of people no longer actually travel to work anymore, unless you work at DRPA and PATCO, because we're 100% in the office. But people are still traveling, right? People, in my estimation, show up for what's important. That's why Zoom weddings never really took off, right? Because people show up at those things that are really important. And so the nature of why people travel may change, but the fact that they travel is not going to change. And as we said, there are a tremendous number of cultural, recreational, and educational facilities that you really can't connect to well from this area of Southern New Jersey that that we be connecting. We're going to be connecting with this line, and driving is not an option for many people for a lot of reasons. Not to mention the fact that driving in those areas of South Jersey is very, very different from driving in the city of Philadelphia. Many people don't want to do that, right? There's parking, there are a lot of other reasons. There are a lot of economic benefits in the hospitals, in the medical areas. So people need a link, and this is going to provide that link. It is an accepted fact that property values around transit increase, right? Property values around transit increase, and even the negatives that may be associated, the small negatives that may be associated with this project have already been absorbed by the community by the fact that there's already a railroad line there. So it doesn't bring any of those negatives with it, because we're going to be able to use, as Mike said, thanks to tremendous collaboration and open-mindedness by Conrail and our work with Conrail. So it brings, this project is unique in that it brings all of the benefits and almost none of the downsides that sometimes come with putting in a transit line. The other thing that is so important in my mind is that when you talk about bus routes and rapid bus and all that, those things can be changed like that, right? And the next thing you know, all of those resources are deployed to northern New Jersey, expanding the already robust transportation network there, right? This project represents a permanent commitment by the laying down of the rail and putting in of the stations that will give confidence to the business community, to the nonprofit community, to anybody else that depends on transportation to make their organization viable. So those are my comments. And Mike or Nicole, I don't know if you have any other things that you want to say on that.
I'm not sure we can top that, but the only other one I would add is, with the GCL coming through that corridor, we're going to improve with the safety of each of those intersections with our 4-quadrant gates and things like that. So we're going to also improve that entire corridor in more ways than just providing transportation.
Thank you.
All right.
I don't have anything else to add.
All right, thank you, appreciate that. George Logan, I see you have your hand up there.
I'm wondering if anybody is going to be sharing staff at that point. Will the DRPA in South Jersey be providing people over to transit to provide continuity?
We're prepared to do whatever is necessary, whatever New Jersey Transit or Commissioner O'Connor asked us to do in order to do that. As it stands right now, though, there have been no requests for that type of support other than the normal transition activity.
Thank you.
Marlene, you had a question?
I have 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fire away.
Well, thank you, John, Mike, Nicole, and thank you to the family of the DRPA. It's been a very worthwhile partnership between us and the DRPA in getting the word out. And the first question is, since I can't call John and Mike and Nicole anymore, who would I call at New Jersey Transit? Who would be our touch person there?
And I'm going to let Mike answer that, but one thing I do want to say is that we do expect that South Jersey Transportation Partners is still going to be involved in this. So, George, on the point of continuity, we expect that they're likely to be continuing. So there will be continuity with that great team. And Mike, about New Jersey Transit.
Yeah, Marlene, that's a great question. So in the interim, of course, you can still reach out to us here towards until the end of the year. But we're working with New Jersey Transit now about putting out. We have some ideas and thoughts of how we would see a transition. Of course, we believe that it's a lot of relationships we grew along the line that we'll probably have some kind of meetings like that in the first quarter of next year, where we're introducing new team members and transitioning it over. So that's the initial conversations that I've had right now, and I expect that we'll be doing something like that, and they'll have sort of the same way we did some kind of project matrix that they'll be able to get out.
Good, and I hope that we can be included in some of that when you're ready. So the next question is, the last I heard, there were 3 communities that were really up in arms, and I'm just wondering, lately, has anything changed? Did we lose communities that were opposing this, or did we gain a couple more? I'm not sure where we are with that.
I mean, that's a hard question to answer because from my perspective, I don't believe we've lost any communities, right? I think that the overwhelming, the silent majority favors this project. They're just not motivated to be loud about it. So what you see is a small group of people, in my opinion, who make a lot of noise. But I think the vast majority of the people that live in the communities actually favor public transportation, favor the idea of getting cars off their roads, right? Getting cars off their streets and lowering the risks and attendant accidents that come along with that. I think they favor the idea that a governmental entity will take over the right of way that Conrail operates in right now. With no disrespect to Conrail, they've been a great partner to us, but the governmental entity that's going to be involved there will be more responsive to the public, because that is our job. It is our job. We are literally owned by the public, whether you're New Jersey Transit, the state of New Jersey, or DRPA. So the idea that, you know, the 4-quadrant gates and the other safety measures, the replacement and repair of the rails, that's going to make it so much more quiet there. The landscaping additions that are planned that will also make it more aesthetically pleasing, but also more quiet. All of those things, the people who know about that know that this is a bigger, better offer for them than what they have now, and they support the project. It's just a shame that it's hard to motivate the supporters to be as vocal as the detractors.
Yes, we know well, and this is a silly question, but it's what I hear. Is there a representation of what the horn is going to sound like? Because that's what I hear. The horn, the horn, the horn. Is there like a sample horn that we can send around to some folks? I mean, I think when we talked about this early on, it wasn't exactly Thomas the Train, but it wasn't high speed line either, with the horn that goes with that process.
So one of the unique things about this project, Marlene, is that it is planned for, as part of the construction, to create quiet zones for any community that wants them. So the plan is to put in the 4-quadrant gates, the technology, the processes, everything that needs to be done to allow for quiet zones at those intersections. So in most cases, the horns won't be necessary, right? The other thing that I would point out about this project is, you heard Mike talk about this. A lot of the work that we had to do with Conrail was to make sure that they had room for growth, because that's their plan, right? So the idea is that, from what we know about Conrail's plans, they're going to be growing. They're going to be running more trains, and the improvements, more trains or longer trains, I guess, if they grow. The improvements that we put in place are on the balance going to reduce the noise in that area. And with the additions of the quiet zones, there shouldn't be any horns unless the community decides to opt out of the quiet zone program. Mike, do you have any more you want to say about that?
I would just add, earlier in the job, we did do a study of, we went to multiple light rail operations throughout the country and literally recorded their horns and recorded their intersection sounds at different levels, like 25 yards, 50 yards, 100 yards. And we have the documentation associated with that to show that at certain levels, we're not exceeding what you'd have, at certain distances, we're not exceeding what you'd hear from a residential lawnmower, those type of things. We kind of had it like a bullseye type. So we're going to be sharing all of that with, and we've put previous information out there about that. At this point, we're to your last question, and even to this one, we're preparing a document that we're going to transmit to New Jersey Transit as we give the 30% drawings to list out all these sort of key issues that we've been hearing, so none of them fall off the table as we transition it to them. About continuing relationships with, here's all the groups that we've been working with, and here's the contacts for them. And then as far as here's the key issues that we hear about the noise and the safety and the intersections and the quiet zones, things like that, and where we stand on each of those.
Oh, that's great. Very helpful. Thank you. And the last one is sort of a reminder, because I know Mike already knows about this. I think the last stop in Glassboro is adjacent to a historic or a possible historic building. And there was some question by, our leaders in Glassboro about the line and how close it came to that structure. And was there any wiggle room so that that land and structure can be preserved, rather than the line going either through it or very close to it? I
can
think,
take
Mike,
that
you
one.
might have already spoken to someone here.
So in that particular area in Glassboro, we are trying to operate within an old right-of-way of an old train bed. So we are not impacting that building. There may be some encroachment, I guess, on the land around it, but the building itself will not be harmed, I guess, in this project. We just received our 30% deliverable last week. So we have not gone through and looked at all of the, updated drawings. So we should have a more educated response about that. But our goal is to stay within that existing rail bed so that we don't impact, we have the least amount of impact in that area, right? So if we go more south, or we go, east or west of that existing rail bed, now we might not be impacting that historical building, but we could be impacting a lot of other buildings. So it's, we're trying to find that balance, and staying within the existing rail bed allows us to maximize our least impact.
Well, that's great news. And I bring it up, first of all, because I live in Glassboro. So we know what we would like to see at that, in that historical building and on that site itself. So any consideration, and thank you, Nicole, for thinking in those terms, any consideration would be especially helpful to and certainly the administration, but also to the residents. And those were my 4 questions. So thank you very much. I'm sure I'll see John, Mike, and Nicole many more times on a different subject, but for now, it's kind of sad that we won't be talking to you about the light rail, but we'll talk to you about other transportation issues, I'm sure.
Plenty of other things. And you know, Marlene, one entity that I neglected to mention was the South Jersey Transportation Authority, who have been strong partners with us through this entire project, providing funding, but also thoughts, ideas, expertise, and help with decision-making. They're also going to be part of the continuity. I've spoken to Stephen Doherty, and they have a draft agreement already that they're working with New Jersey Transit to take the remainder of the funding that they have for the project and allow New Jersey Transit to have access to it. So Stephen Doherty, Steve Mazur, who's left the South Jersey Transportation Authority, though, have been great partners as well. And they're continuing with the project. They have a draft already agreement with New Jersey Transit, according to what Stephen has told me, that they're working to try and finalize.
Great. Well, that's all I had, Bill. If you want to, I'm sure there are other questions. I didn't want to monopolize the meeting, but thank you all. So did we lose Bill Brooks? Looks
I
like
might just be so choked up about this moment that
oh, he's coming back.
He's back.
Okay.
He's rarely at a loss of words. I know
Yeah,
that.
sorry, I don't know what
Must be
happened there.
electronic.
I think I got kicked out of the meeting somehow. Somebody probably removed me, but so if nobody has any more questions, I just want to thank John, Mike, and Nicole for all your input. Your DRPA has been strong advocates for this project. It wouldn't have gotten through the EIS phase and through preliminary engineering if it weren't for the support of you and your team. So we definitely appreciate that. And I want everyone there to know that, you know, Southern New Jersey Development Council is here to support you however you need for this project and any other projects that you have ongoing. And Nicole, one last closing thought. If you let people know the best way that they can keep in touch with what's going on this. I know I see some social media posts. There's a website. It might be good just to let folks on this call know what can they do to keep up to date on what's happening with this.
Sure. So we do have the website. We will be transitioning everything over to New Jersey Transit in the next few months, but the website is glassborocamdenline.com. We have an email address, info@glassborocamdenline.com. We do respond. We track all of our inquiries. We respond via the email. There's a nice comment page on the website as well. We have our social media. We are on Facebook, X, LinkedIn, and Instagram. We've been posting pretty regularly. We'll hopefully tee it up for New Jersey Transit as well. So we'll have a bunch of socials that they can continue on once we move over to them at the end of the year. But it's all on our website. We keep it up to date. If you email us, we'll respond.
Thanks, Nicole. And,
Yeah,
you know,
so.
and I know John mentioned it's easier to get people out who are against the project. They tend to be more vocal. So I would encourage everyone on this call, you know, if you're interested in the project, you have an interest in seeing it advance, please follow those social media, repost, comment, click like. You know, we want to generate a lot of positive interest because the Say No groups are pretty well organized and they're doing their part to get their word out. So, all right. Well, thanks again, Marlene. Anything about upcoming events? Anything you want to say before we close it out here?
Just a reminder that Congressman Norcross will visit with us on November 1st at Adelphia. I'm sure you've gotten at least one or two notices, but you'll see more. We'd like to have a nice gathering. I don't know if he's going to be giving us any predictions, but he always comes with an excellent message. So that's November 1st at Adelphia, and you'll see another flyer coming out your way very soon. I don't know if Ben has anything. Ben, are you still on with us?
Yeah, no, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. But thank you again to all of you. Just a reminder, we do have a coalition of over 150 businesses and municipalities and nonprofits supporting this project. If anyone who's on the line now hasn't signed up and you'd like to, please let us know.
All right. All right. Thanks, Marlene. Thanks again, John, Mike, Nicole. Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody joining. Have a great day, everyone. Take care.
So long,
you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one.